Welcome guys, welcome back to the channel, God and Overcoming Addiction. Let's get motivated.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Okay, welcome guys. Let's get right into this. Hey, by the way, if you're looking for motivation in your journey to recovery from addiction, and my channel really specializes or focuses on crack cocaine addiction, but it's really relevant to all addictions. But I just speak from cocaine addiction because that's what I actually have experience with. But if you're looking for inspiration on your journey, please consider subscribing to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. Without further ado, let's get right off into this. So it's about 6 years ago. I'm sitting in my mother's and my father's downstairs, and I just come in off of a crack run. Then had been gone many days, had nowhere else to go. So like normal, I go drag my tail to them, hoping for help, not really knowing what's going on, know that they're at their wits' end with me. But nevertheless, I'm sitting there in the basement, and I was already met with the terms of, you need to figure out what you're gonna do because you can't stay here. And I understood that. But anyways, I was sitting down there, and my mother happened to have the TV on, and I'm sitting there and I'm in my woe is me mode. I'm thinking of, I'm depressed, I'm sad, no hope. I feel like a failure. I can't answer the question why I keep doing this. And it's just, I'm in a mental storm right about now. But nevertheless, she had the TV on, and there was this preacher on there, and actually he was Joseph Prince, and I just happened to be listening to him as I'm sitting there, and he was talking about God's grace. Now, I was raised up in the church. I've been to church, but I never really had a true relationship with God. So, and I'm hearing this preacher, Joseph Prince, talk about grace, and I don't know, something just resonated in me as I'm hearing him, because what I heard throughout his whole message, the one thing I got out of it was hope. And if I took nothing else from that viewing, was I just felt a sense of hope. But nevertheless, in my addiction, from that situation, I went on and I had many more relapses. You guys know the story, but it was probably maybe 6 months later, I'm really at my bottom. I had nothing. I had no car. I was getting evicted. I had no money. I had no food in the cabinets. I had no cell phone. And I'm sitting there in this house, hungry, cold, lonely, just a mental mess. And I kid you not, I began to think about that sermon that I heard from Joseph Prince talking about God's grace. And it was at that moment where I realized I needed help. And it was at that moment and this is at the end of 23 years, guys. So everything that I had done in my addiction up to this point, it was just all consuming me. I'm looking back over the years, and I'm looking at where I'm at now, and just the feeling of hopelessness and despair, it was on me like never before. But getting back to what I was saying, thinking about that sermon that I heard from Joseph Prince, and he was talking about how much God loves us. And I began to cry out to God that very day. And I think it was a cry out to God that, I know you can't shock God, but if God could be shocked, I think he was shocked, because I just let it go. I was tired. I was tired of hurting the people that loved me, and most of all, I was tired of hurting myself. And I began to cry out to God. And guys, if you stick with this channel, I will get into a lot more of these things in detail, but I don't want to make this video long, so I'm going to kind of just hit around the highlights. And from that moment of me crying out, God began to order my footsteps. He ordered my footsteps in a way to where I was able to get back on my feet, get me another vehicle, get me another job. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I had lost that job too. I lost the job too. Many jobs. But God, as I cried out to him, I can literally go back and see how God orchestrated my footsteps. And like I said, guys, I plan on doing this channel for a long time. And so I will come back and get into a lot of the details of my story. But the purpose of this video is to encourage someone to know that when you reach your end, when you feel like you just can't go on, my thing is, don't throw in the towel. Turn to God. And your walk with God, I'm sorry guys, let me turn this thing. Matter of fact, hold on, sorry. That's how we'll get rid of that. But anyways, guys, but if you're at the end of you feel like you're hopeless, you're in despair, you don't know what to do, I would urge you to turn to God. I know a lot of times people, when you mention God, I don't know why it just turns some people off. But I can only tell you from my experience, in my 23 years of addiction, in and out of jail, heartache after heartache, letdown after letdown, dangerous situations that only God could get me out of, feeling worthless, for 23 years, I can only talk about how I got out. And many people has other roads how they come out of addiction. There's other roads that you can take. But on this channel, all I can focus on is the road that I took. I don't know what it's like to be delivered from crack through other avenues. All I know is Christ. And if you can resonate with me, maybe you're a backslider. Maybe you know the Lord, but you've caught up in addiction. And you just seem like God is mad at you, or you just can't seem to find your way back to him. Let me tell you from experience, God loves you. And he doesn't like the addiction. He loves us more than our addiction. And my thing to you is, turn to God. And if you don't know God, my suggestion is find yourself a pastor that can take you through the ins and outs of coming to know God. There's many pastors out there that have a background of addiction. There's many street ministers, street pastors that know the lifestyle. And if you can hook up with one of them, but I'm not saying that's the only pastor you know. Just find a pastor that can walk you. If you know nothing about God, please find yourself a pastor and just be honest with him. Say, I want to get to know God. Because guys, I'm coming to tell you this. I had no way out. I just couldn't get it together on my own, in my own strength. But when I turned to God, and I mean sincerely, because prior to that, yeah, I did the little 10-minute prayer, God get me out of this, and he'd get me out, but I'd run straight back to the dope, to the life. But it was something about that last time when I cried out, and God began to the process of showing me what his grace is all about. And so if someone was to ask me, what truly delivered you? I would have to tell them this: coming to know the fullness of God's grace applied to my life. Not knowing what it does to anybody else, but making it personal and getting a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, my Lord and my Savior. Guys, I can only tell you that's what brought me out. And I've stayed out. Has it been a struggle? Yeah. In the process, earlier on, I had 2 relapses. But I knew I had 2 cheerleaders cheering me on more than myself. God and Jesus. Get back up, son, and get back in the race. And I'm telling you, until you come to the knowledge and the experience of having a relationship with Jesus and understanding and knowing what he did for you on the cross, it's the game changer. And the enemy will fight you tooth and nail to not find out how much God loves you. He wants you to think you're a failure. He wants you to think there is no way out. He wants you to throw in the towel. But God wants you to just give him one chance to show you that he is God and to show you how much he loves you. So like I said, guys, I won't keep this video long. I just wanted to share this with you. I know the pain. And sometimes, guys, in my videos, I get worked up because I understand what somebody's going through that's watching this video. And sometimes I get passionate because I want everybody to experience this. So those times when you see me kind of going at it, guys, just know I'm passionate. And I want everybody to experience the freedom. I know that gorilla that can be on your back in crack addiction. And I want you to experience having life, going through life with that monkey, that gorilla off your back. And it is possible. That's all this channel is about. It's just motivating people to recovery. And whichever road you take, do it motivated and dedicated to yourself. You owe it to yourself to turn this thing around. But with God, he will help you. And like I said, I can only speak from my experience of what brought me out. If it was something else, that's what my channel would be about. But that's why it's the name of this channel. Crack to Christ. Motivation. So, guys, I'm not going to keep you long. I just pray that this video has blessed you. And if I'll say this, and I'll shut up, I promise. Guys, it's possible to overcome addiction. Take it from me. I had lost all hope, but God restored it all back to me. Life is not a bed of roses. But one thing I can say, he took that gorilla off my back. And now life has many other problems after that. But I can face them. I can face life on its own terms. But with that gorilla on your back, he's too big. We're too focused. He's got us. But when God moves that gorilla off your back, life just seems so much easier and so much peaceful. So guys, I'm going to leave you. I pray that this has blessed you. Please subscribe. Make some comments. If this video has blessed you in any way, please let me know. If you need prayer, please let me know in the comments. If you just want to talk, let me know in the comments and we can communicate with each other. So guys, you be blessed, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay motivated, my friends. I just love that. Stay motivated, y'all. I'll see you on the next one.